In this lecture, we are going to install some tools that will enable us to manage all of our front-end dependencies. If you have worked on any large-scale project before, then you will know that it is very difficult to manage all of your CSS, your JavaScript, and all the front-end tools that you'll be needing to actually build your project. So we're going to be using NPM as the main dependency management for all of our front-end. It's very easy to install NPM. All you need to do is to do a Google search for NPM, and then go to the npm website. So click on install npm, and then there will be a link here that says download npm and node. So this is actually what we want to do. So click on this and then download the recommended 6.1.0.3 LTS as at the time of this recording. Okay, so once it's finished downloading, we are going to install it. So click on the executable file to launch the installer, and then we are just going to follow the steps. Click on next and then accept the licensing agreement. Click on next, then choose a folder where node should be installed, then take next and then take next. Click on install and then click on finish. Okay, so to see if node has been installed correctly, what we need to do is come here. We may need to open a new terminal. Let's try first. So node-v, command not found. All right, so what we need to do is actually open a new one. So we're going to open a new terminal and then here type in node-v. Okay, so we can see that node is installed. We type npm-v. Can also see that npm is installed. So when we installed it using the installer, it was installed globally in our system. All right, so I'm going to close this one and then change to that directory again. Bizamp, htdocs, e-commerce. All right, so the next step now is to create a file inside of our project directory that will be used to manage npm. So I'm going to click here and then we are going to create a package.json file. So my text editor already provides me the means to create this easily. So I just select package.json and then it creates a new file for me. So this file should be created at the root of your project. Right, so here you see package.json. So if you're using a different text editor, all you need to do is to actually just, let me delete this, and then click on the root, then say file, package.json. All right, so this will do the exact same thing, just that now it's not going to include the object. So now we are going to populate this, open an object, and then we are going to start by specifying the author key. I'm going to just put my name here, put a comma, and then we want to give a description. So we're going to say description should be Acme e-commerce web store. Put a comma, and then we can also specify the type of project. So we're going to say this is a private project, set it to true. And then next we are going to specify our dependencies. So we say dependencies. This will be a separate object. The first dependency that we need will be goop. So we are going to be using goop for task automation, like compiling all of our CSS and JavaScript file into a single file that will be minified. All right, so this is very important. We want version 3. Let's use the data and say 3.9. Say 3.9. Put a comma. So the next one that we need is going to be Laravel Elixir. Laravel Elixir. And then the version that we want should be 5.0.0. The reason why we are pulling in Laravel Elixir is because it's a very nice wrapper over the goop package. It is going to help us to easily specify the different tasks that we want to do with goop. All right, so these are the two main things that we'll be requiring with npm. The other things that we'll need, we're going to install using Bower. So once we have created the package.json file, what we now need to do inside of our root directory here in the terminal is to say npm install. Okay, so this will take some time, depend on your internet connection speed. All right, so if you see some warnings like this, you can just ignore them. Okay, so it has finished installing. Once you are able to see this tree, then you know that you have actually succeeded in installing all the npm dependency into your project. All right, so let's go over to our test editor. You can now see here that we have node_modus. Let's click here. Okay, so the names of the folders are not showing. My test editor is still trying to index the folders. So what we can do is actually go over to the project folder and then open node modus. You can see all of the different dependencies that was pulled in by npm. So the next thing that I want to do is to actually require GOP globally. This is something that I love to do because maybe I want to use GOP in another project. I don't need to explicitly require it. So I could say npm install GOP. Okay, and I also want to install Bower. Bower is another tool for front-end dependency management. This is the tool that we'll be using to pull in the framework that we'll be using for our front-end side of the project. So we want to install them globally using the -- global tag. All right, so we have now succeeded to install GOP and Bower globally.